I'm Jackie and I'm from Bolton originally, and I'm working here for my gap year at the Briars. And every morning what we do, we get up nice and early, 8:15, and we go for morning prayer of the church, which is in the chapel, to pray to God for help and to pray to Him, to thank Him for things and to ask for things. I think it's very important. We work with young people, so we have young people coming in every week and at the weekends as well, and we go through a programme with them, so it's like they do different activities when they come here. Basically it's just giving the young people a good time away from school and a nice week with their friends. Obviously everyone in the third world supports Liverpool like I do, yay, come on. People do support football teams over there, they do play football and sports and stuff. I wanted to go to school and learn when I was younger, and they want to go to school and learn as well. But also things like family. I live in a family at home. I live with my brother and my mum and my baby rabbit, but then they live with their family as well, and there's a lot of people surrounding them, and that is a good comparison. Something that I've had an experience of in school is bullying, and what I did in school was a programme to stop bullying. So I was a peer mediator. People that were too scared to go to the teachers, it was nice to have someone the same age as them to talk to and to overcome the problem with. Being nice to each other is a big way that we can change. Instead of being horrible, smiling at people instead of just walking past them in the street. And I think that's the sort of thing that we need to change.
I'm Steve Brown. I'm 18 years old. I love sort of sporty things. Music's really important, and it's a great way to sort of express yourself in quite a fun way. Well, I don't think the world is quite as terrible as everybody makes out, because there's a lot of things like in the media and things like that where they concentrate on all the bad things, and it's quite easy to concentrate on all the bad things, but I think there's a lot more good things in the world, and I'm quite an optimist, so I like to concentrate on the good things, and there's a lot more people that want to do things about like certain issues in the world and things like that than people make out.
My name's Tom Baptist, and I've been working as a cathode outreach worker as part of the Briars for the last 2 years. Today is quite an active session. What we're going to do is we take loads of cardboard and bin liners and lots of very excited young people and take them outside into the garden and ask them to build their luxury house. The idea is not to kind of necessarily focus on negative aspects of housing and poverty, but more to look at the kind of things we value and the things we need and where we put our priorities.
What type of telly is it? LCD or plasma? Oh right, not LCD.
More often than not, the first thing they build will be their 42-inch plasma, and the last thing they'll think about is putting the toilet in. And it's just a really kind of easy, fun way into looking at kind of the way in which we see our world and the way in which we should be more aware of the things that the things we take for granted are actually luxuries for some other people as well.
A light rain shower. Tim, take it away. Thank you. Okay, then of course we have the black boat.
My name's Jenny and I'm 19. I like going to the cinema and watching films. There is major injustice in the world, especially with like when you see loads of people living in poverty, because like we have so much and like it doesn't seem right that lots of other people don't. Also problems like HIV and AIDS, when lots of people are dying for like when there are drugs and stuff to stop it. So in our tuck shop we sell lots of fair trade, and this is some of their fair trade chocolate that we sell, the Divine bars, and we encourage the young people to buy it because it obviously guarantees people a fair price for what they've made. Trade's unfair at the moment because some of the poorer countries are losing out because they can't afford to pay the higher import taxes that the rich countries have. But then fair trade, just fair, like the farmers get a better wage and it's fairer, and they can make a living out of it as well, and the rich countries don't lose out either.
I think it's still important to live simply, sustainably and in solidarity with the poor. Like the Pope said like 40 years ago. It's the simply part that I think still applies, because the major world religions have got sort of one moral, one code that most of them apply by, which is love your neighbour as you love yourself, and I think that none of us would like to be put into that situation. So I think just simply living by that code and living by that moral will make the world a lot better place, really.
I think it is important that we should be living simply with the poor, but more I think it's important that we should be stopping them from being poor, and I think we should be building on what they've got and giving them more so they have as much as what we have.
Just be aware and be focused on just living simply, not being worried about all the material things, just being happy with what you've got.